Yes, it's Captain's President's Day. What is Captain's President's Day? It's a day when University of Ulster Coleraine football players from the last 30 or 40 years get together and play a game of football and then have a few drinks. We are at Starks Park, a fantastic ground, and we have got Oisin, and Oisin's going to do a wee bit of video when I'm trying to kick footballs myself. Ready? Oh, never lose it, baby. So we're not going to really vlog much football. Oisin's going to do a wee bit. I don't know how he'll get on, but what we are going to do is we're going to talk to Micky Willis, who is one of the main men behind the University of Ulster Coleraine football over the last 40 years. We've also got an ex-Cliftonville legend, John Platt, who's going to tell us stories about Irish League, and we'll also get Tom Stark and hopefully Davy O'Hare, and we'll see how we get on. I hope this is going to be fun. Yeah.
What about our midfield? Hey? McCann's on the scorecard already.
Is that done?
Midfield. I can play midfield. Midfield. Right side.
Your midfielder.
Yeah. Where's our left side? Left side, no. Up front.
Yeah, left side. Offside!
We've got Micky Willis here. Micky Willis is UUC Coleraine FC.
Seriously?
He is the man. Micky, tell everybody what this is all about today.
UUC, NUU beforehand, every year has an event where all previous graduates and current students come together to play some football and a bit of crack. And we're very lucky that we have graduates from here from the early days in the 1970s right the way through to the current crop of students.
Micky, who'd be the most sort of famous people who would be associated with UUC football?
Well, from a Coleraine perspective, people would know of John Platt, who obviously probably is more of a Cliftonville legend, perhaps not a Coleraine legend, but John Platt is here today. He scored the winning goal for Cliftonville in the 79 Cup final. And he's excellent. John is a fantastic supporter. And I'll throw another name out to you. He isn't here. He lives out in the Middle East now. Coleraine fans would recognise him. A boy called Mark Allen. Played for Coleraine back in the early 80s when they played Spurs, I think it was, in the Cup Winners' Cup. But there's some other brilliant players. Stephen Lowry, who Coleraine fans will know. Stephen is a graduate from here, and his dad, Ken Lowry, is actually here refereeing one of the games.
Who's the most famous person who played for UUC?
That's a good one. The most famous.
I think it's
I would say, you could not. You mean in terms of personality? Yeah, there's a guy, Omid Dajili, OJ as we knew him. He was a student here in the 1980s.
His picture's going to appear on this screen in the vlog.
Yeah, he was a Chelsea fan for his sins. A classy player, left-sided, played primarily for the reserves and the Colts here. An excellent player. I'm still in contact with him actually.
And he also was in the Mean Machine.
Yeah, I mean, he's
skillful.
He's a very good player. Very good player. He didn't like training. he wasn't one of the world's greatest trainers, I'll tell you that.
Micky, what does this mean to you? Everybody come together every year. Like, what for you personally? You know, when there's 70 or 80 people turning up here to play football, what does it mean to you?
It means everything to me, and I'll tell you why. I've been very lucky to be involved here since 1982, and I've had kids myself who've all grown up and gone to university. And in the modern world, university experience is all about apparently passing your exams and all that sort, which is true, but this is the real university experience. You've lads here aged from 18 through to, I think John Platt was telling me he's the second eldest. I think he's 72, and Tom Stark, who's here, Tom is in his early 80s. The thing is, this is what it's about. You meet people. We're a very mixed club, very diverse club. Everybody gets on, and it does mean a lot to me.
Right. Micky, thanks. Appreciate
it. No worries.
it.
Thank you, man. Look after yourself.
How's your football been?
We haven't played yet. We're just getting warmed up here. Do you want to show me your boots?
Yeah.
4-0 keepers, man. Classic boots, son, for a classic man. You know, Davy O'Hare's laying 4 goals. That's crazy, like.
Go, Dad! Daddy has the ball.
Come on, Dominic!
Dad has the ball. I'm not key.
Michael, how come we invest so much in beer and cider and no water for the players? Well, I suppose the beer and the cider does water.
Gotta say this is a good game. Okay. Shoot! Go, Dad!
Yeah, I was just kind of at the start of that was 99.
Last year, the Football Association of Ireland celebrated its centenary, and they struck a special medal which was awarded to a limited number of people. The medal said Centenary Medal of Honour for Services to Irish Football. I presume they mean through the whole of the island of Ireland. We'll save that argument for later on. But yeah, fair play. Now that I've retired from the civil service, I can be a little less sort of
Diplomatic.
But I was at a meeting recently where somebody said to me that Tom had been nominated for one of these medals. These are a limited edition, very few people have got them. And I was asked to, I said I was humbled up here to do this, and I would be delighted to present it to Tom. So very, very well done, Tom.
Tom Stark here. Tom Stark is Mr. UUCFC, a legend of a person. I think you're one of the people that brought me to uni, weren't you?
Yes.
Tom, what's today mean to you?
Oh, this is an important day. You see students from up to 40 years back, sometimes even further, you know. It's good to see them come back, and they've all got this common interest in football and the university. It means a lot to me. Yes.
Tom, thank you, appreciate it.
Cheers.
Kieran, Spuds, university legend, one of the best players I've ever played football with in my life. What does Captain's President's Day mean to you?
This means really it's all about Tom Stark and all of the friendships and the camaraderie that we've built up through the years. I've been fortunate enough to play for the university, Ulster, Coleraine, for a number of years. We won the Intermediate League, we won a number of cups. But apart from that, the friendships that have been built up through the years have been fantastic, and it's been led by Dr. Tom Stark. So we all come back here every year, play against the graduates, show them how football's really played, and yeah, and it was great pleasure to see you today too, Niall, and listen to you gurning just like you used to do. But
Just
yeah,
think about that, Kieran. Sorry, they jump in with that last game there. How you doing? Gavin Doherty, left back, right back, up front, a couple of goals today. Talk us through that cross there that you played today.
which one? The ball came in from the left hand side from yourself. Did I
It was up like a salmon.
It was up like a salmon. Yeah, it's great. It just rolls back the years. Now we'll have a couple of beers and build and talk about the memories and just how good we were.
Cheers, Kieran. Do you know who this man is here? That is Stephen Lowry's daddy.
Did you meet Stephen before, Oshin?
You know what?
You saw him play? I must get you over and meet him someday.
He made him a Christmas. He got him a Christmas card and all, didn't he? And Stevie sent me a message and said thank you for it.
That's really good.
That's Stevie Lowry's dad.
And then Philip, he plays for Crusaders. That's my other son. He plays for Crusaders. Stephen's number 8, Philip's number 7.
Ask if Stephen Lowry's staying at Coleraine for another season.
He signed for another year, so he didn't obviously now.
That's
so
an exclusive there.
He's staying for another year. He's got a bit of a knee problem with him at his knees, giving him a wee bit of, but he'll be alright. He'll get a wee bit more treatment on it, a wee bit of rest, and then he'll be ready to go again.
This here's for the Cliftonville fans who watch the vlog. We have an ultimate legend, not just a legend, an ultimate legend. This man is John Platt. He was in the last Cliftonville side who won the Irish Cup.
First of all, I made it quite clear that we would win the Irish Cup. And secondly, and this is probably the more interesting for all the Cliftonville fans who I couldn't compliment enough, we won the Gold Cup as well. And then we played Linfield on a Saturday. And it was a horrendous game because my dad said to me, you shouldn't have said any of that, they'll kick the shite out of you on Saturday. Which of course they did. But late into the game, I think it was John O'Connor brought the ball down the middle of the field. We were playing to force 8 Gales. With 0-0 at half time. And it's always easier to play against that sort of wind than with it. And with about 2 or 3 minutes to go, John brought the ball down. I think it would have been John O'Connor actually. And he chipped the goalkeeper from 40 yards. And the ball landed at my feet, brought back by the wind. And I chipped it into the back of the net and we beat Linfield 1-0. And George Dunlop was right up against me. And I said to him, fucked again, George. And, and I remember going into the car and the police said to me, just leave it another 10 or 15 minutes, John, we'll get you out of here soon.
John, is there anything you want to say to Cliftonville fans now? Cliftonville are on a high. They are flying.
In reality, it's a better team now than the one I played in. But when I went to Cliftonville, we were bottom of the Irish League. And I was a nobody. And the team was a nobody. Under Jackie, we turned all that around. And the abuse I got, I mean, the most enormous abuse I got was from supporters who, I don't do religion, so, you know, Malcolm Brodie barred me from being Player of the Year for 2 years in a row. And he couldn't have paid me a bigger compliment because whilst I was very, very disappointed at the time, and I actually knew that I was the player of the league because I had scored all the goals for Cliftonville that were important, and I played with wonderful players, Kieran McCurry, John Flanagan, Marty Quinn, terrific players. And we all would have shared that. But he couldn't have actually paid me a bigger compliment in hindsight than not allowing me to be Player of the Year. And Billy Johnson, who was the manager of Crusaders, rang me on a Friday night to tell me that I wasn't going to be Player of the Year. Now, I never actually thought about being Player of the Year because I'm a team player. And team players change the world. Individuals don't. And I said to him, well, Billy, it don't matter. I don't care about it. I play to win and I play for a team. And I'm a team player. And in hindsight after it, I've thought so many times, Malcolm Brodie couldn't have paid me a bigger compliment. And actually he couldn't. And the Cliftonville fans the next week after, invited him to the game. I can't remember who we were playing, I just remember we beat them. And he had a big banner up the back of the stand at the Cliftonville end, Malcolm John Platt's abroad. And whilst I'm delighted they did that, I don't do religion, so it wouldn't matter to
Joe,
me.
one more thing. Can you just tell everybody why you're at Captain's President's Day? What's your association with the University of Ulster Coleraine?
I was brought up in a working class estate in Coleraine. And as a family, we had little or nothing, and I was a phenomenal rugby player. In fact, I would go as far as to say I was definitely a rugby player, better than a footballer.
Not really built like a rugby player, like.
But I was lightning quick as a rugby player, and I was a full back. And I got offered contracts, you know, here, there, and everywhere. But I had to go to university, and
You went to Coleraine Uni then?
yeah, I had to earn money because I couldn't afford to go through it. I mean, I'm from a family of 9, and we used to always think we were Catholics because we'd 9 of us. Because my dad didn't do religious, we didn't realise until we were in our teens that we weren't Catholics. It was just actually quite comical in today's world. So my son has been brought up thinking he's actually the same.
Right, we've seen him there earlier. This is Ken Lowry. Ken Lowry, the father of Philip and the father of
Stevie Lawyer.
Stevie Lowry.
That's right.
What a man. Ken, why are you at Captain's President's Day? What's your association with the UUC?
Well, I sort of built up a really good bond with the UUC down through the years when, first of all, when I played here for Roe Valley, we would have locked horns with the UUC, and then as my time as a referee, an intermediate referee, I'd been down here doing matches, and then the Collingwood Cup was here, the university's varsity, you know, different games. We were down here, strong relationship with Tom and Micky Willis, and Captain's Day came along, and they asked me would I come along. And I've been here for a good number of years now. Missed the last couple through COVID and that, but you know, just have to ring and say Captain's Day is coming up, are you free? And I'm here, you know, volunteering. And you can't really volunteer down here because they still have to give you something. So today they give me a lovely bottle of whiskey, and I'll treasure that so as well. So great people, great football people. I'm just so proud to be down along with them and sharing their big day.
And Ken, have you any dirt to tell us from refereeing that nobody knows? some real juicy. Some about Linfield or Torn or Cliftonville. Some one of the big teams.
No, I don't have anything juicy, but I always remember I was just appointed. I wasn't refereeing very long, and I was appointed to. I was a linesman or an assistant referee in a game up at Cliftonville versus Crusaders. The local derby, and it was a really cold day in December, and the referee was a man called Davy McGill, you know, from Belfast, and he sadly passed on now, but he was a great referee. So he was a really good ref. The players loved him, and me and another guy from the northwest were up to assist him, and we went into the dressing rooms, and before the match in Cliftonville, it was a really cold day, and he says to me, right, knock that into you. He poured 3 of us 3 halfings of whiskey. And I wasn't that long, and I says, I can't take this, David, there's no way, not allowed, you know, it's not. He says, get that into you or you're not going out there today. So we knocked back these three whiskies.
Who was at home and who won the game?
It was actually Cliftonville were at home, and the game was a draw, and the snow came down in the second half of that game, and I actually couldn't see the line that I was running. You know, I was looking down this line to see where the ball was out of play, and I called Davey, came over to me, and I said, Dave, I can't see. Never worry, you'll be all right. I'll look after that down there. You know, and we went on, and they were really good times. I loved my times as a referee. I met some great people, both on the refereeing circuit and the people associated with clubs and that. And it's such a great family to be involved in. The referees. They're so good. And I'm glad I'm still involved with the Northwest Referees Association. I passed my testing back in early '90, I've been there ever since. And I've done a couple of administration roles with them, been chairman. I was actually voted in as a vice chairman there at the last meeting of the AGM, but I'm only there as in the sort of advisory role. But and I appoint referees into the National League, and I love doing that as well. I love sort of helping referees. I was up helping at the fitness test last night up in Meadowbank and Marifelt. Refereeing will always be close to my heart. I love it.
Ken, I have actually one more question to ask, right? And it's just came to me there now. The Irish League has got so much more professional with the full-time clubs. Do you, as you know, an ex-referee and in your role, think that Irish League referees need to, you know, have a more sort of full-time role, you know what I mean? So more training and, you know, more fitness and everything that goes with it.
Like, you know, refereeing has come on so much over the last 10 years, I would say, maybe even so in the last 5 years, where they have a full-time official there now. Trevor Moodry is the head of refereeing in the north, and through his guidance, I know COVID played a big part there where maybe they couldn't get together as much, but when you sign up to be an AFA referee in the Premiership, the amount of training that you have to do, the amount of commitment that you have to show, I think it's just a formality in the next few years that referees will go full time. I think, you know.
Is that a Peaky Bandsiders exclusive there, Ken? No pressure, Trevor.
No, so hopefully, you know, the referees, they're under a lot of pressure. They're definitely under a lot of pressure, especially last season. Social media, matches been streamed.
Social media, what is that?
Matches been streamed on TV. They're really, really under the scrutiny now. You know, people can see so much what's happening.
Vloggers putting up stuff and saying they're cheaters and stuff.
Exactly, and how people
don't regret that.
And how people deal with that, and the AFA, or the refereeing department are trying to, you know, put their arm around the referees and make sure that they're sheltered, if you know what I mean, and that they have all the experience that they need to go out and referee a match.
All right, Ken, and finally we're matching. You're sort of blue-eyed. I'm black. I'm feeling it.
No, it's hot. But I just want to say I'm really proud of the two fellas that play in Irish League. I've watched them all their careers, from being young boys playing to where they are now, young, you know, experienced campaigners, strutting about the midfield with you know, Crusaders and with Cliftonville. And
they're never going to play together.
Look, it doesn't look like it now, because Philip has signed a 2-year deal with Crusaders there, and Stephen has a 1-year sort of contract with Coleraine. So I thought it might have been a possibility in January this year, but it seemed to fell through, and it doesn't look like it now.
Philip was brilliant the second half of the season when he came back from injury.
Philip was injured, a really, really nasty injury, so he had really deep under his groin, and he seemed to shake that off. He got some treatment for it, and he had finished the season strong.
The truth of the matter is, when he came back into the team, Crusaders were a different team. Like, fantastic.
Okay, you know, Philip was a good head on him. Irish Cup's been good to Philip. He's got 5 medals now, 5 winners' medals. You know, he scored a few good goals in it as well, finals and different things. Didn't really get into the match in the last final there, but you know, that's all they do. Now the results 2-1, and just to say, Philip has a big lot of time for David Jeffries. David sort of showed him the ropes up at Linfield, turned him into the man he is now. So thank David for that too.
All right, Ken.
Thanks, now.
Cheers.
No bother. Okay.
That was Captain's President's Day at the Coleraine Uni. Oisin, what do you think of your first Captain's President's Day?
No, not bad.
Not that bad. Listen, I wanted to show you this here. This here is every year where, like, so many ex-students and players of the University of Ulster and Coleraine come back and they play a game of football. Pardon me. And the camaraderie amongst these people is unbelievable. I've never seen it at any club I've been at other than the uni, and they're just a great bunch of lads, and the people who are associated with this club are fantastic as well. And listen, I was supposed to have Davy O'Hare for a wee interview, and of course I was that busy playing football with Oisin. Davy got showered and he left, but I scored against Davy O'Hare, and I'm buzzing for that. Like, Niall Quinn beats Davy O'Hare. Ooh, baby! Oisin, you want to finish it off? What are you going to say? Your head's not in it. What are you going to say?
Dad was class.